People have been searching for the fountain of youth since the beginning of human civilization. This quest for youth and life extension hasn't slowed down at all in modern times. The beauty industry today is worth a whopping $500 billion. But what if I told you that the human mind has actually been programmed to cause the body to age much faster than it should naturally, and that the secrets of youth lie not outside of you, in a bottle, pill, or fountain, but inside of your own thoughts and beliefs. I've had personal experience healing 35 things in my body so far through meditation alone, without doctors or medicine, and very few supplements. By choice, I don't even have medical insurance. That's how sure I am about my ability to heal. I've healed multiple cavities, a broken arm, excruciating back and neck pain from extreme sports accidents, which led to bulging and herniated discs, and all the frightening symptoms that came along with that, like unexplainable headaches that lasted a straight 3 months, difficulty swallowing, painful swallowing, frozen shoulder, shoulder pain, ear pain, frequent urination, groin pain, numbness in the legs and arms, just to name a few. I even grew 1.5 inches past the age of 30 and am continuing to grow through meditation. Having healed so many things in my body, healing the skin from its supposed age-related imperfections is just sound logic and common sense to me. With skin being the largest organ in our body, what makes it any different from any of the other organs and parts of our body that we can heal? As you know, the concept of law of attraction dictates that whatever you focus on, you will attract into your life. Hi, my name is Jason, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome. I make videos to help you discover the infinite potential within to create the dream life that you deserve. If you like videos like that, please consider hitting the subscribe button down below, and remember to tap on the notification bell for the YouTube algorithm as well. Nearly every bit of our lives have been programmed. We're programmed by our schools and universities. We're programmed by the news that we watch. We're programmed by the movies we watch and music we listen to. We're programmed by our doctors and scientists to believe certain things about our bodies. We're programmed by society to believe certain things that are right or wrong. This programming starts immediately at birth because our parents are so delicately and totally programmed and pass down the system that they've been taught that was passed down by society to them. And the minute we're born into this world, that programming begins. Additional programming comes from our peers, relatives, friends, coworkers, teachers, religions, all acting in a vicious feedback loop that seems endless and mostly negative. The concept of free will is almost non-existent, as we all learn and believe that life just happens to us and that we're all victims. Nearly every choice we make, what's good, what's bad, what to eat, what not to eat, whether to go to college, what subject to major in, how the world works, science, psychology, medicine, what to wear, what to drive, the list goes on and on. We literally live in a world where the thoughts we think are our own actually come from someone else. With the established norms of society, we're spoon-fed the so-called facts of life. This programming goes so deeply into our lives that when we're living inside the programming, we don't even realize that we're in a program. This programming goes beyond just our mental space, but as our thoughts and focus create the physical reality around us, it also invades our cellular structure and shapes our physical bodies. Our bodies are composed of living cells. It's long been believed that the body is susceptible to a person's genetic programming, and there's not much anyone can do about one's genes. But through the science of epigenetics, researchers in the field have proven that DNA is not only changeable, but it reacts to the environment around them. Scientists and researchers like Bruce Lipton, PhD, and Dr. Joe Dispenza have already proven this. Why is it that out of 2 people that work in a factory, one gets cancer and the other one lives a long life? Why is it that out of two twin brothers, one has all of his teeth, while the other brother has lost most of his teeth? Why do some people die early from disease and others live to a ripe old age? Why does one person age faster than another sibling? From a young age, we're already labeled and categorized by age. Only a couple years after birth, a toddler enters his terrible twos and thrashing threes, indicating that all or most kids act a certain way when they reach the ages of 2 and 3. There are actual books written about these topics. When a child reaches the age of 5 or 6, they're told by parents that they should act their age and not that of a toddler when they throw tantrums. At the age of 8 or 9, kids are told they're big girls or boys, which comes along with other big boy and girl attributes and responsibilities such as being well behaved or good listeners, which further subjects them to the mental programming their parents unwittingly pass on. How many movies are out there that are all about being a certain age? I can name a few: 40-Year-Old Virgin, 21 and Over, 16 Candles, This is 40, 13 Going on 30, and of those that don't have a specific age in the title, how many of those films are stories about people at certain times in their lives? Whether it's a movie about newlyweds, or a movie about having your first child, or a movie about death and dying, or a coming of age theme, or a college fraternity theme. We have movies about every single stage of life, and the stories come in all different shapes and sizes, but they're all basically perpetuating the same programming. Every age range has a certain behavior, certain qualities, and a certain appearance and body functionality. We're told that at age 18 or 21, we can start drinking, that college should only take 4 years or 5 years at the most, and that after college we have to get a good job, and after having a good job for a few years we should get married, and after about age 30 we should have children, and by 40 we need to be successful. If we're not successful by age 40, society looks down on us. If we haven't had sex by 40, oh man, I hope nobody has to endure that kind of programmed psychological suffering. If you're 30 and still living with your parents, you're a loser. If you're a woman and haven't had children by the age of 35, watch out, because your ovaries are shrinking by the hour right past your 35th birthday.
It's the neighbor's baby. I knew it wasn't yours because you're shriveled ovaries.
At about 40 years old, our bodies begin to decline. Women at age 50 or so, you will start to experience menopause. Men start to develop dad bods. Skin begins to sag. At age 50, you're over the hill. 55 or 60, you're a senior citizen. You get the picture. Every single movie or TV show we watch, there's a stereotype of a human being in each and every stage in the programmed aging process. We have people that are older than us telling us all the time, just wait until you get older, as if to warn us of all the ailments that come with the so-called aging process.
For me, I can't really see that good. My eyes are over 40. I don't know if you know this, Malcolm, because I don't know if you're there yet, but when you hit over 40, your eyes go to garbage.
Oh, I'm getting closer by the day.
The back grows weaker, hearing starts to dull, eyesight starts to go, along with the memory. How many times have you heard this over and over and over and over again? And how many times do you see this? Whether it's a poor old man walking down the street, hunched over with a crane, whether it's a poor old man walking down the street, hunched over with a cane, taking small little toddler steps, or someone close to you who has had these symptoms of old age and a degenerating body and mind. The list goes on and on. The do's and don'ts of each decade of human age, all written down right in front of you. And because we see it and hear it every day as a truth of being human, we never stop to question it. Being born into a society that's already been programmed to believe all of this, the mold of the illusion of age is already set pretty much in stone for each and every person that's born into the world. The psychological programming is so concrete that the physical reality mirrors it completely. Why are we programmed to believe our bodies decline at a certain time in our lives? That question can remain for another video, but here's a hint. I don't think it's from a place of benevolence. For the average human being, the lifespan is about 72 years. Why is it that some people live much longer and some live much shorter lives? Could stress be part of it? Is stress manufactured through psychological programming? How does stress affect the body? It causes our capillaries and cells to constrict so that cellular function is not at an optimum level. It causes our bodies to release certain hormones like cortisol to prepare for fight or flight, which also restricts energy distribution to the rest of our body to save enough energy for survival. Stress can cause headaches, back pain, restricted blood circulation, restricted breathing, heart problems, and at the most exaggerated end of the spectrum, it causes cancer, heart attacks, and other diseases that lead to death. So it's clear to see that the stress in our lives causes the body and its organs to deteriorate and is a main cause of premature death. I would actually go as far to say that stress is the cause of premature death and disease and other negative situations in our lives, because being stressed means that we are out of alignment with our broader selves, which is rooted in the pure energy of love. But this isn't just a video about longevity. This is a video about keeping healthy, youthful skin and the body function of a 20 or 30-year-old, no matter what age you are. Because that's why you clicked on this video. You wanted the fountain of youth. Our thoughts literally create and shape the world around us. Everything is energy. Thoughts are energy. This camera is energy in a more stable, solid form. But if you look at it underneath the high-powered microscope, you'll see that the atoms and molecules that make up this seeming solid object are moving around and are quite alive. Our cells and our bodies are also energy. And as we all learned in science and physics, energy never dies and only changes form. So is it that hard to believe that the energy of our thoughts and feelings are transferred into our physical body and have the ability to affect it? Would it not make sense then that the thoughts we believe about our bodies and the concept of aging that's been implanted in our psyche can and does cause our bodies to break down? And on the reverse side, would it be that far of a stretch to think that positive thoughts and feelings allow your cells to function at a much more efficient level, which facilitates rejuvenation and healing? You see it with your friends and family members, co-workers, those people around you that are older, always complaining about being old and feeling old. How many of you know someone who aged rapidly because they went through a hard time in their life, like a breakup or a death, but then once they got over it, began to regain their previous youth? There are monks in the Himalayas that have lived past the age of 30, some even up to 145, youthfully. And here are some examples of people who have seemed to buck the trend of aging. I came across Annette Larkins when she was in her early 70s, 71 or 72, I think. She is now 79 and looks like she's 40. She attributes her youthful appearance to a raw vegan diet and vigorous daily exercise. Not only does she carefully plan her vegan meals, all created with raw ingredients, many of which she grows in her garden, but she also carefully monitors her daily walking. Here are a couple clips of some other people who've also managed to maintain a freakishly youthful appearance compared to their biological age.
See what the majority thinks her age is.
My name is Linda. I live in Dix Hills, New York. I'm 74.
Guessed the lowest pop up. What did you think her age was?
I don't think she's any more than like 18.
Okay, so we're going to reveal her actual age. 38.
No way. No way.
Let's look at what the majority of our audience thought that Pat's age is. 40. Good solid number right in there. Let's reveal her real age. Wow!
She's given us a challenge to guess her age. Now let's take a good look. Carolyn Hawks.
49. Thank you.
I'm going to go with 53.
It's not as kind as you.
Well, how
All
old?
right. 70.
And this is Chwando Tan. He's 54 or 55, but he looks like he's in his 20s. He also mentions diet and exercise as one of his main secrets to youth, but what if the act of diet and exercise aren't the real cause of their youth, and the true cause stems from their strong belief and the feeling generated through that strong belief that causes the body to produce hormones and chemicals to regulate their DNA and gene expression. In Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Are the Placebo, he lays out a variety of stories about people who were given a placebo or were under hypnotic suggestion and received miraculous healings. The doctor-physician Anton Mesmer, who inspired the creation of the word mesmerize, would put his patients in a trance-like state and use magnets to effect healings in their bodies. There are stories of doctors in the 1800s who would perform surgeries without proper anesthesia, where hypnotic inductions would be made to put the patients in a painless state. In modern science, telomeres have been found to play a huge role in the so-called aging process. Telomeres are distinctive structures found at the ends of our chromosomes. They consist of the same short DNA sequence repeated over and over again. This sequence is usually repeated about 3,000 times and can reach up to 15,000 base pairs in length. Telomeres are said by scientists to shorten in length as each gene sequence is replicated over time, which is the cause of bad gene replication, which is the cause of the body breaking down over time. However, there are many researchers and scientists in the field of epigenetics who have recently discovered that our environment and behavior is able to affect the way our DNA and genes are expressed. Epigenetics literally translates into above the gene, as epi in Greek means above. Epigenetics is a study of how your behaviors and environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Unlike genetic changes, epigenetic changes are reversible and do not change your DNA sequence, but they can change how your body reads a DNA sequence. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, lobsters are one of a handful of species that appear to be biologically immortal. These creatures don't age in the same way that you or I do. Every time our cells divide, something called a telomere is shortened. There's a direct relation between telomere length and cell age, with the oldest cells having the shortest telomeres. Think of a telomere as the little cap at the end of your shoelace. That cap keeps the rest of the lace from fraying. When it comes to your body, these telomeres act in the same way by protecting the DNA within your cells. Once a telomere gets too short, it can no longer guard the DNA and the cell begins to age and eventually dies. Lobster cells behave very differently. Instead of shortening over time, a lobster's telomeres are constantly rejuvenating thanks to the enzyme telomerase. Humans also produce telomerase, but not at the same levels as a lobster. Dr. Joe Dispenza also claims that his researches show that in rare cases, people increase the length of telomeres within 4 days by meditating and feeling heartfelt, elevated emotions. So as you can clearly see, the aging process is indeed reversible, with one caveat: if you believe it is, and that should give you a big sense of relief. It's crucial for us to be aware of the faulty programming that we've been subjected to so we can take the steps to rewire our brains and our beliefs for something that can literally save our lives. It takes turning a blind eye to the current reality around us that serves as a mere reflection of our current level of consciousness. It takes being brave and standing in what you truly believe and know to be true at the deepest of your core, and brushing off the criticism and laughs of those around you who may not yet see the potential of what you see. Remember, at the end of the day, this is your world, your reality, and your life. These are your thoughts and your beliefs and your vibration. Learn to desensitize yourself from all the outside programming. It's my firm belief that humans aren't meant to live such a fleeting life. The purpose of each lifetime is spiritual evolution. In the past, we've been subjected to the programming of the old world and the old energy of victimhood, and we're almost always corralled into a life where we lived in the basic mode of survival, left with no time to contemplate and familiarize ourselves with the spirit within. All of us have been through the cycles of birth and death many times, never having the true chance to have that quantum leap in spiritual evolution. But this lifetime is different. As the planet in our solar system moves into this field of accelerated energy, the universe is actually supporting our spiritual growth. And that's why we chose to be here on this planet at this time, so that we can reap the benefits of the spiritual evolution that would have taken hundreds, if not thousands, of lifetimes to attain. We're here to experience this in its fullness and glory. And only through an extended lifespan, which allows us a multitude of different experiences, can we truly gain the perspective we came here for. Learn to cultivate the highest energies of love, gratitude, joy, compassion, fulfillment, and channel that energy in order to rejuvenate and sustain your body's youth. I actually believe that it's possible to stop the aging process entirely. I mean, if a cold-blooded animal like a lobster with a fraction of my intelligence, sorry lobster, not to diss on you, but if a lobster can do it, why can't we? I want to be a lobster who can grow my telomeres. These are my thoughts anyways, and this is what I choose to believe and how I choose to live my life. Not just because I personally see the results of this on my physical body, but also because it feels good just to feel good. And to me, that's what matters the most. In my next video, I'll share my techniques and tips that I've successfully used to rejuvenate myself. So please stick around, subscribe so that you can see that next video. If you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps this video get out to others that may need to see it. And it also helps you curate your YouTube playlist because it tells the YouTube algorithm what kinds of videos you'd like to see. If you haven't subscribed yet and would like to see more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified of future videos. Again, my name is Jason. As always, I thank you for watching, and remember that you are the change. I'll see you guys in the next video.